Economic Community of African States (ECCAS) summit scheduled for Lomé, Togo. According to a statement signed by his senior special assistant on media and publicity, Galba Shehu, the president will be deliberating with other heads of state on the common security threats to countries in West Africa, with a view on the ECCAS on the forging concerted strategies in tackling the menace of terrorism, transborder crimes, and other forms of violent extremism. Shehu said while in Lomé, the president will also participate in the single currency for ECOWAS meeting with the deadline of 2020 before proceeding to the 53rd ordinary session of ECOWAS Authority of Heads of States and Governments on Tuesday. The Deputy Senate President, Ike Ekweremadu, has urged the federal government and all relevant authorities to respect the rights of every Nigerian citizen so that the rule of law will prevail. Ekweremadu, who disclosed this to journalists, said there should be justice and equal opportunity for everyone. He added that the government should restructure the country in such a way that Nigerians will have the right to freedom, democracy, and life as it obtains in different parts of the world. You will recall that last week, members of the Department of State Service (DSS) and the Nigerian police were alleged to have laid a siege on the house of the Senate President and the Deputy Senate President. And on to election matters, a leader of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Adamawa State, Jamel Zubairu, says politicians who defected from APC to PDP are returning to the problems they left unsolved when they left the party. Zubairu, who disclosed this to journalists in Yola, said the ongoing crisis rocking the party was formed by strange bedfellows with different political ideologies. He described PDP as the best party in the country, stating that the party will return to the helm of leadership come 2019. Furthermore, Zubairu, who is also contesting the Adamawa State governorship election, lamented the unpaid salaries of many states. He attributed it to the inability of governors to devise means of generating revenue to their states.
When people say automatic ticket, does it guarantee automatic victory if people are against you? I said so. Because we didn't give you departure ticket, so how are we going to give you a return ticket? So,
as civil society, we need to alert to this, but more importantly, we think that the National Assembly should, working with the executive, agree on a budget for INEC in a way that is acceptable to all sides, and that National Assembly needs to pass this budget before the September 25th date that it has set for itself. And what we are saying in addition is that if the National Assembly needs to cut short its recess to come back and address this, it should, working with the executive, do so that INEC would know that it is ready for elections in all ramifications. But as it is, I fear that the elections in 2019 is being threatened by the fact that there is no funding or approved national budget for INEC to carry out its responsibilities, and it's something that we all need to be very concerned about as Nigerians, as civil society, and so.
And still on political matters, the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress (APC), Adams Oshomole, said the party will use the current gale of defection to weed out people whose value indifferent conflict with the core values of the progressive fold. Oshomole disclosed this to journalists during a press briefing convened to analyze the defection of Benue State Governor Samuel Otom. The APC national chairman said the party is relieved with the exit of Otom, who he accused of reducing governance to nothing.
When people say automatic ticket, does it guarantee automatic victory if people are against you? I said so. Because we didn't give you departure ticket, so how are we going to give you a return ticket? So I couldn't assure Governor Otom that we will overrule the position of our party members and party leaders in Benue come 2019 that will give him a ticket. No. I wanted to simply find out to cross-check with him the allegation made against him. And he was to come by and say, that is why he organized that drama. To say, and that tells you the quality of reasoning. I'm sorry, with all due respect to Governor Autumn. As a former governor, I have every respect for anyone who is occupied that office and anyone who had at any point in time occupied that office. How can you reduce governance to Nollywood? When has it become the case that a governor wants to travel, it is on the radio that he's traveling, and this is the purpose of the meeting, and then all of a sudden the people individually now rush to government house and say, no, don't go, stay, we want you to leave. I mean, if that is the quality of the brain that drives the governance of Benue State, it's a relief for me that he's gone. I'm very sorry.
The Coalition of Civil Society Group has expressed concerns over the 2019 election budget delay. Convener of the group, Clement Wanko, disclosed this while delivering his report on the recently conducted election in Ekiti State. Wanko said the delay in INEC's budget will frustrate the conduct of the election. He urged the National Assembly to suspend ongoing recess and attend to supplementary budget for the 2019 poll.
As civil society, we need to alert to this, but more importantly, we think that the National Assembly should, working with the executive, agree on a budget for INEC in a way that is acceptable to all sides, and that National Assembly needs to pass this budget before the September 25th date that it has set for itself. And what we are saying in addition is that if the National Assembly needs to cut short its recess to come back and address this, it should, working with the executive, do so that INEC would know that it is ready for elections in all ramifications. But as it is, I fear that the elections in 2019 is being threatened by the fact that there is no funding or approved national budget for INEC to carry out its responsibilities, and it's something that we all need to be very concerned about as Nigerians, as civil society, and so.
You will recall that President Muhammadu Buhari had written the Senate requesting an approval of 254 billion naira from the prosecution of the budget. Meanwhile, the Electoral Commissioner in charge of Southwest, Adedeji Shoyobi, described the Ekiti poll as free and fair, but called on the federal government to tackle vote buying issues.
We were the first to even admit to the whole world that we noticed this issue of vote buying right from the Edo days. We did not hide it, and we knew the effect it's going to have. Whether we like it or not, wherever there is money, there is no free will, at least in the choice of a candidate. It's going to play a part whether we believe it or not. It's very, very deceitful to talk about, oh, people can still take the money and then do what they like. In most cases, it's pay as you vote. People will really see what you have done before you have paid. It's like we look at the quality of commodity which you have purchased before payment is made. So here I'm pleading to all of our civil society organizations. The first thing we should do is not to stop talking about it. A lot of people observed it in Ekiti, but honestly, nobody made a report until all the elections are over. If we look at it as a criminal issue, I think we can alert us, and then we can alert the security apparatus to make some arrests there. I'm sure arrests will have a deterring effect to some extent, but it's becoming so endemic that I don't think it's something we should gloss over.
Away from political matters now and on to corruption issues. The House of Representatives has commenced the process of forfeiture of assets procured with proceeds of crime. The chairman of the House Committee on Financial Crimes, Kayode Oladele, who disclosed this to journalists, said the bill passed before proceeding on its annual 2-month recess is to provide legal and institutional framework for the seizure of recovery management of assets derived from unlawful activities. He added that it is also to establish a central agency in managing the process recovered from illegal acquired properties. Legal practitioner Akinwole Ogunlola stated that when the bill is being signed into law, it will supersede the Executive Order of Number 6 of 2018 on the preservation of suspicious assets connected with corruption, which was signed by President Muhammadu Buhari. According to Ogunlola, the bill, which has scaled through the second reading in the Senate, is awaiting consideration by the Committee of the Whole. The federal government has confirmed August 28 as date for the commencement of compulsory confirmation exam for some civil servants in federal agencies in the country. This was contained in a circular released on the official website of the Office of the Real of Civil Service of the Federation on July 24th. According to the circular, the exam, which is meant for Corporal 1 and 3, is stated between August 28th to 31st. The exam is meant for administrators, executives, foreign affairs personnel, the police, paramilitary, doctors, nurses, engineers, and teachers under the government's payroll. And we'll go on a quick break now and return with business-related reports. Stay with us.
Before they come, they're supposed to, give us some information, notice, at least maybe a week or so. There was nothing like that.
Hunger is everywhere in Nigeria. People are dying every day, but Nigerian government are keeping quiet. How's not killing people? Why?
It's not what we expected because of these old men that are leading us, and you people know, you are aware that these people are not the right people to lead us. These kind of people that are leading us here are people of black mind. They just care about themselves and their family.
You are fighting my business. Let me use if I call it useless, I'm not to mistake. The other place where they build a shop, call it plaza. Each shop got 4 million naira, which I don't have the money, so I have to leave.
If you plan to get a tribal mark, it takes a lot of pain, but after some time, you enjoy it. No, we experience hold up now during the construction time. Then after some time, we start enjoying it.
The way they are doing the construction is too slow. It's too slow. The construction is too slow. They should stop the construction and make sure people go into their businesses and do their businesses.
Welcome back now on business. The Oyo State National Association of Microfinance Bank NAMB Chairman Femi Jegede has called the attention of prospective traders and people seeking financial support to be careful of activities of fraudsters who parade themselves as microfinance operators. Jegede said the fraudsters now operate in uniform, seeking people to defraud of their funds in order to help them financially in business. He also said that they are not licensed operators, but imposters who seek innocent victims to dupe. He also said the body has adopted to embark on a series of campaigns to sensitize people since it lacks the power to arrest illegal operators. The Federation Account Allocation Committee, FAC, has allocated the sum of 821 billion naira to the 3 tiers of government for the month of June. Minister of Finance Kemi Adeosun disclosed this to journalists after the FAC meeting in Abuja. A breakdown showed the federal government got 315 billion naira, while the states and local governments received 194.5 billion naira and 147.5 billion naira respectively. The oil-producing states of the Niger Delta receive additional 42.8 billion naira.
We transfer the sum of 100 billion naira into the excess crude account, and we're distributing the balance as follows. Federal government 283,540, state governments 143,815, local governments 10876, derivation 37.408. VAT 85.343 less the cost of collection 3.414 gives a net VAT distribution of 81.929, and that's distributed federal government 12.289, state governments 40.965, local governments 28.675. And then we distributed from the forex equalisation the sum of 41.848. So the total amount today distributable is 821,863,000,000 naira only, with 100 billion being transferred to the excess crude account. Thank you very much.
In an effort to permanently address the controversy of inadequate remittances between the NNPC and state governments, Abiyoshi said President Muhammadu Buhari has directed a new template for calculating oil revenue remittance by the NNPC.
The President has directed that a new template be generated jointly between the Ministry of Finance, the Office of the Accountant General, NNPC and RAMFAC. And Mr. President has further directed that prior to FAC, there must be a meeting, a pre-meeting between the Ministry of Finance and NNPC to go through the figures that are being presented and to agree those figures before they are brought to the Federation account. We believe that this reform is very fundamental and will improve the reporting of FAC. The template that we're currently using really hasn't been revised in a very long time. Many of the items or many of the questions and areas of conflict are because the information isn't necessarily presented in the most transparent and user-friendly manner.
The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has decried the growing abuse of the naira through squeezing, selling, spraying and marching on foot while dancing at public functions, as well as hoarding by some citizens. CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele, who disclosed this, said any culprit caught in any of the acts will be liable to 6 months imprisonment or a fine of 50,000 naira, or both, in accordance with the CBN Act of 2007. And we'll go on another quick break and return with sports and foreign-related stories. Please stay with us.